right now. And that's done. All right. And I'm going to mute you guys. Hang on. Okay, so everyone is muted. Now, I'm going to ask Ryan, since I see him up top, I'm going to ask him to unmute himself just till I do the screen share.
Okay.
Hold on a second here.
Do you want me to entertain the troops while you're doing that? I did the hand puppets the other day.
Okay, hold on a second here.
It's working.
Can you see it?
Yes.
You can see my Motivate Your Mornings.
No.
You
I see your Zoom US. Earn some sweet rewards by referring friends to Zoom.
Okay, hold on a second here. Worked before. All right, let's do it this way. How about now?
Motivate Your Mornings with Wendy Kennedy.
Okay.
Gorgeous.
Perfect, thank you.
Now I'm muting myself.
All right. So I'm hoping this isn't going to, and I gotta take this necklace off. I'm sorry, as cute as it is, it's choking me. So give me a second. Yeah, I'm hoping this isn't going to advance on its own, but it should be okay. I think it's a click through. So I am going to talk to you guys about something that I am super passionate about. And I don't know why, but I am like totally nervous right now. And I'm never nervous for these team calls. And it's like, it's not like I don't know you guys. I know you all very well, but I'm just like nervous. Maybe it's been a while because I haven't done a team call in a while. So, you know, with this series and stuff. So off we go, motivating your mornings. And this is a topic that has been really, really impactful in my life and really kind of pertinent right now. So I thought, what better topic to share with you guys than something that means a lot to me right now. So here we go. All right. So a little bit about me. I know that you guys probably already know all about me. I can only see a couple of you. I can see Julia and Kim and Ryan eating his salad. So the rest of you I can't see, and if anyone else pops on, I can't see, but I'm going to assume that there are going to be people that I don't know. So a bit about me. My name is Wendy Kennedy, and I live in a really small town in southern Alberta. I am about an hour from the Montana border, so that for you guys in the US, that puts it in perspective for you. I am married to Scott, and you can see him up there in the upper left-hand corner. And we've been married for 28 years. I have two kids, Lauren and Morgan. Lauren is 27 and Morgan is 21. Also in the picture down in the bottom corner there, I have a grandson, Jude, and he is 2 now. He just turned 2 in October. I am a 4-star Diamond Premier Coach. I'm a full-time coach. I've been a full-time coach for 2.5 years, and I am a certified PIO and size instructor, and I teach here. I don't teach size, but because my brain can't like deal with that. But PIO, I teach here at the local gym, which is like literally a stone's throw from my house. I could see it if I walked out to the end of my driveway pretty much. So that's how close it is. I am a lover of all things coffee. If you know me, you know that coffee is my jam, and that's how I roll. If you see me, I 9 times out of 10 have a coffee cup in my hand. I am the author of the cookbook called Just Feed Me, and it was my very first cookbook. I'm super proud of it because it was a bucket list item, and there is a sequel. There's Just Feed Me 2, or Just Feed Me More, that's coming, and probably in the new year. And I am 47 years old and super proud of it. So that's a little bit about me. All right, come on. It doesn't like me. There we go. All right, so you guys know that figuring out what works for us as an individual in this business, it comes with time, and it comes with patience, and it comes with a lot of trial and error. And you know, I hope some of these tips help you. It might work for some of you. Some of you might look at what I have to say and you'd be like, you know, like I already know that or whatever, but that's okay, right? take what you can from this call and use it. And that's all I ask. And, you know, I spent a lot of time, especially in the last year, trying to get a system that worked for me, because it is about us finding an individual system. And I am pretty happy right now, especially in the last month or so, and I'll tell you why as we go on, about the system I've got. And I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. And I feel productive. I feel energized, which is great. I feel creative, which is also fantastic, because for anybody here who's creative, I see Kim down in the corner. She knows my jam. For the creative people, like, it comes in waves, right? You're not like, I don't know, like, I don't feel like you're creative all the time, but to have like that creative burst, it's like a wonderful feeling. It's really, really a wonderful feeling. All right, so let's get started with a plan, okay? If you are coming into this business, attacking every day, you've got to have a plan, right? And as the quote says, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And although I kind of really dislike that word fail, but if you read John C. Maxwell's book, Failing Forward, you guys know, like, failing is part of the process, right? So, but you do have to have a plan, and you got to start somewhere. You can't just wing it. I know there are people that say that I wing this, I wing that, I wing everything in my life. I'm not a winger. I'm sorry. I'm a planner. That's who I am. So if you wing it, I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend you, but this is what works for me, and I feel like I need a plan. So where I start, and I learned this from, I did last fall, I did Smart Success with Shalene Johnson, and she made us do a brain dump. I'm like, what the heck? And all my team that are on here, I put them through this as well. Made them do a brain dump. So you start with the brain dump, and this is my brain dump scribbler, okay? This little gem right here. And you know that there's like a thousand things to do every day in this business, right? Like, there are 1,000 things that, like, some days literally, I don't know if you feel like me, but I feel like my head's going to explode with all the things that I need to do. So taking the time, when I first did the brain dump, I think it was like 30 minutes uninterrupted, sit down and write, and then write more, and then keep writing. And when you think you're done writing, you're not. Keep writing. Like, all of the things, write it down. And everything that's big, like if you're planning a free group or a paid challenge group, write that down. Business opportunities, to bigger things, like if you're working on your branding and logos, and little things like freemiums, like all that stuff, that, like, the fantastic ideas that you come across when you're listening to a call from someone that inspires you. Write it all down, right? Take the time and write it all down. And then once you've got it written down, and I'm going to show you the very first page. This was my original brain dump page, and pages. They go on and on and on and on. Like, this is how once you get started, it flows. So start going through that list, and you see in the center of the picture there, I've got some highlighters. That's my tub of highlighters that's sitting right here. Take a highlighter, take a couple highlighters, a couple different colors, and start by going through this big brain dump list, and take your yellow marker and decide that the yellow marker is going to be all things that are urgent. Like, all the things that are urgent that you, like, need to get done stat. Okay, so highlight those in yellow. Take a pink highlighter, go through all the things. Next, highlight everything that's important. So it's still, like, you really need to get it done, but it's not as pressing as the urgent, and so on and so forth, and mark those and go on from there. And the brain dump, after you've done the initial brain dump, like, don't stop doing the brain dump. Keep them going, because that's going to be your outlet for when your head feels like it's going to blow off its shoulders. This is the outlet. This is my savior right here. It makes me happy. And then from there, what you can do is, and what I do, is every Sunday night, I make a point of sitting down and taking that brain dump and saying, okay, what am I going to attack this week? What do I want to accomplish in the next 7 days? And I take and make a weekly list, okay? And I'm going to show it to you. This is my old one. This is the current one. And this is my empty here. And so you're going to take from your brain dump and you're going to make a weekly list of what you want to get done and accomplish, and then you go from there. Then another thing that I learned from Smart Success, if anybody else here has done it, I'm sure you're going to know this terminology, or if you've listened to Shalene, you're going to reverse engineer it. So you're going to take that week and you're going to break it down into days. And I honestly do I do my days every day, and I use a planner. I don't take my weekly list and plan out my whole week in my planner. I take my weekly list, and the night before, I write down what I'm going to do the next day, and it's all there. And then I go on from there. And it sets yourself up for success to kind of it sounds like it's a lot of work, but it's really not, because it's a system that I feel works for me. I take this big ass list and break it down. Like you're doing it in reverse. So AKA reverse engineering. So let's move on here. Now, you saw my list, and although it does say to-do list, Wendy's to-do list, I'll show it to you, it's really pretty. There it is, right? Wendy's to-do list, gold. My name's in gold bling. What's not to love there? So I was told by one of my mentors that I need to scratch the idea of a to-do list, and I need to focus on it being called a success list. And it makes a difference. It's just a little twist in your mindset when you're looking at that list. And you really need to ditch the overwhelm. That's the key thing, because at this point you've got all these lists and you're like, what the heck? Where do I start, right? It can be totally overwhelming when you have all these big things to do and you don't know where to start. But I'll tell you, ditch the overwhelm. And when making your success list, you see I've got listed there, I've got 3 things. Focus on 3 things. And why only 3? This is my daily list, right? If you have your daily list, focus on 3 things, because 3 is doable. Now, let's reverse it for a little bit and go back to the old Wendy. The old Wendy would write 23 things down, right? And then I would wake up in the morning and I'm friggin' overwhelmed before the day even starts, because I've got 23 things to do and I don't know which way is up, right? And 23 is not doable. So this is what happens. You look at that list and you think, well, where do I start? And why am I not making progress? And is this list ever going to end, right? So 3 you can do. If you have time to do more, that's fantastic. That's really fantastic. But when you have 3, that's doable. All the rest is just a bonus. So when you complete that 3, you're going to feel a sense of accomplishment. You're not going to be overwhelmed feeling like you need to do it all, because I've been there and it's not pretty. And I'll tell you that you're going to most definitely, I actually have notes here and I said likely, but you most definitely will have a higher quality of output in your work, because you're only focused on a few things instead of all the things. And it's just like when you multitask, like when you're multitasking around the house, right? You do a whole bunch of stuff half-ass. You half-ass it and nothing gets done great. A whole bunch of things get done subpar. So when you're focused on fewer things and one at a time, you can definitely make an impact and make your work more quality. And don't forget to breathe, because sometimes I do that. When I look at my list for the week, I'm like, dear Lord, baby Jesus, please help me get through this. And I do. All right. So before the day even starts, this slide is one of my favorites. Before the day even starts, you can make your mornings flow a whole heck of a lot easier if you do a little prep work the night before, all right? So get a jump start on the day and set up the night before. And I do this I've done this. I'm going to tell you a story, which is totally going to date me. But when I was in high school, so I had like long hair, right? And I had straight hair. So you had to prepare to curl the hair, which took an hour in the morning, like to get it all like jacked up, right? Like Texas hair. And there was no time to prepare the wardrobe if you had to curl the hair, right? So I set out my clothes the night before. Fast forward to today, I am doing something called the Miracle Morning, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. But fast forward to today, I get up early, before 5 every day, and I get dressed. That's part of it for me. I get dressed, and if you've seen me trying to get dressed in the morning when I'm half asleep, you'll know that it's not pretty. Like the other day, I went through the whole day, no kidding, my friggin' Lululemons run inside out. I'm like, oh my God, what? But it happens, right? So eliminate that whole step. Set yourself up the night before. Set out your clothes. It makes the mornings a whole lot easier. If you have an early morning, it helps you focus. And if you're like me and you aren't functioning until the first 2 cups of coffee at least get in your system and flowing through your veins, set up your coffee the night before. That's my coffee station, guys. That's where the magic happens right there. That's my house. And that's like my favorite spot in the house. But I set it up the night before because I'll tell you what happens when I don't. I walk out and I put the coffee pod in my Keurig and I walk away and I'm, doing something else and I come back expecting to see my cup of coffee. Oh, I see it, but it's all over the floor because I just forgot to put the cup there. So I put the cup, the coffee, the whole 9 yards. Set that up. Have your lunches packed. If you've got kids, have your lunches packed for your kids the night before. I did that when my kids were in school and it was a lifesaver. Have your breakfast food. If your mornings are crazy, have your breakfast foods, all your non-perishables set up the night before. That's mine from yesterday morning or the morning before. I do this Miracle Morning. So part of it is exercise. I do yoga. And while I'm doing yoga, I make baked oatmeal. So I have it all set out and ready to roll. And then while I'm doing my yoga, that's in the oven. But I'll tell you, when I come out in the morning, this is like my own recipe. So it's in my head. So if I am like trying to focus when I'm half asleep on making this a success in the morning, it doesn't really happen. So I take all my ingredients out except for the refrigerated stuff, put it on the counter so it's there. Set your table. Like things like this can help your mornings flow in a big way. And when my kids were in school, even before Beachbody, I set the table. I loved getting up in the morning. It's like, no clanging and banging, and just like, kids, sit down at the table. They're, let's eat breakfast, right? And it just like made things flow in such a huge and wonderful way. And I loved it. So another thing that I want to talk about too, and this is a smart tip. So if you're not doing this, maybe you might want to think about doing it. Make sure your office space, even if it's just your desk area, the night before, tidy it up a little bit. And I know, like, if you look at that one in the upper left-hand corner, like, my office has looked like that some days. That picture on the right with the polka dotted cup, that's actually my office. And it's maybe 2 or 3 times a year that my office looks like a Pinterest picture, but most times it's not. But I do like this space here, this workspace. I like it to be tidy. So take some time the night before and tidy up that space. And I'll tell you, all the clutter, it can be a huge distraction. Like, I don't know what you're like when you're working, but if I have clutter around me, that's all I see. Like, I see the clutter everywhere. And I'm trying to like zone in and do the thing. And I can't do the thing because I see boxes and I see piles of poop. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere. So take some time. It doesn't have to be like a deep clean. I mean, just tidy, put away, put things back. If you took it out, put it back where it belongs, I guess is where I'm saying. And then that's going to change things in a huge way for you. And, I didn't start in this space. I started at my table. If you're new to this business, your office might be, runny nose. Your office might be your dining room table or your coffee table in your living room. But, whatever space you have, make it a space that you actually enjoy spending time with. And this space that I have here, this space makes me happy now. It always didn't always. I used to be in the back bedroom freezing my butt off every single day, and it was dark, and it wasn't conducive to creatively working, to like productivity. It wasn't conducive to that. So I made an executive decision to take it into my dining room. The table's out there, but I'm here now, and this is a space that I love. And it came together over time. It didn't come together overnight, but over time. But surround your space with things that you love, right? If you like fresh flowers, it's a treat. Go buy yourself fresh flowers. Put it in your space so it's in front of you. I'm looking at leaves right now in my vase in front of me. So it's beautiful. If you have pictures of your kids and your family, put them in front of you because they make you happy. If you've got beautiful artwork or vases, or you like crystals, healing crystals, like those things make me happy. I put them in front of me. Books that I've read that inspire me and fire me up, or books that I want to read. Like I've got a little set of bookends there with some books that I want to read in there, and that fires me up, right? Your recognition, what would you call them? Certificates. I've got those there too, because they need to go on the wall, but for right now, they're in front of me. But things like that, like surround yourself with things that you love, because there's really like literally so many ideas that you can make your space a more pleasant and awesome environment. So make it a space that when you wake up and you walk out into it, you go, honey, I'm home, right? Instead of, oh, I'm going to drive steak knives in my eyes because this is such a disaster, right? It makes a huge difference. Make it a space that your eyes light up when you see it. All right, on we go here. Okay, so get enough sleep, and I need a drink, so hang tight. Get enough sleep, and this one is huge, and I know that we all know that we need to get enough sleep, but I'll tell you, sometimes it doesn't happen. And right now, I aim for 10:30, but that's only been recently, only the last month, I'm going to say. Before that, I was like a going concern. And when I was first in this business, I'll tell you a story. When I was first in this business, I was working a full time. I was traveling all over this province and another province for work. And I was doing Beachbody, which I felt was another full-time job. So I was going at crazy hours, and I was burning the candle at both ends. And I'm not saying that you need to do that. That's just what I did. And I'm not saying it was smart. Sometimes you do things short-term for a long-term goal. And that was kind of like my plan. And that's what I did. But when you do that, it impacts you. Sleep rules so much. Research it if you don't know what I'm talking about. Sleep impacts so much. It impacts how you feel physically. It most definitely affects how you feel mentally. Y'all have the brain fog from lack of sleep. Well, yeah, hello, that's me. And it's definitely going to be a telltale sign of how productive and focused your day is going to be, or it's not going to be. So get enough sleep. Even if you can get to bed a little bit earlier, like a half an hour earlier, it makes a difference. So like I said, right now I'm aiming for 10:30. And because I'm up super early, and now that I'm in the habit of it, I feel like I feel fabulous, actually. Like I feel energetic, and I feel like my brain is functioning the way it's supposed to function. All right, guys. Okay. So tomorrow, a mystical land where 99% of all human productivity, motivation, and achievement is stored. We all know that place, right? So, I flipped my page too soon. Do the urgent. You remember the urgent thing that I was talking about that was highlighted in yellow? Do the urgent thing first thing in the morning. Eat that frog. You guys probably have already read that book. Eat that frog. We hear this all the time. It's so true. Because I'll tell you what happens when you dive in with a knife and fork and you kill that frog, the rest of the day is easy. When you have that thing that's like, oh, I have to do it, like, oh my God, you're just dying inside a little. But you do that thing in the morning, the first thing, and then the rest of your day is like you're friggin' frolicking in the flowers, in the wild flowers in the field. You are. And it's awesome. So eat that frog, guys. All right. We're getting there. This one I love. Free yourself of distractions. Because if you only have 1 hour, if you are doing a power hour and you're doing it first thing in the morning, and that's all you've got, you have to be like zeroed in. You have to be dialed in to what you're doing. So free yourself of distractions. So I'm going to give you some things that you can do that if you're not doing, you most absolutely should be doing, because it makes a huge difference. So logging out of Facebook, unless you're working in Facebook, like we all know that social media is our jam, but there are things that we have to do, you know, obviously outside of Facebook for creating ads and doing, you know, design and stuff like that. But if you're in Facebook, otherwise log out of Facebook. All your smart devices, put them on airplane mode. See up there in the upper left-hand corner, that little airplane, just tap that and you're just like cut off from the interweb, right? It's not a bad thing. When you're focused, it's a good thing to not have that distraction. And that sign down in the lower left-hand corner, I love it. I'm in here, you're out there. Let's keep it that way for a little while longer. So let your people know that this is your work time, right? Let your people know that this is your work time. And if you have an office door, close your door. Close it. If you don't have an office door, like when I started, I didn't. And there were things going on all around me, but there are ways to get around that, right? Now, for example, my husband, I have it actually really good because it's just me and my son, and he's away for most of the day. And then the evenings, he's on his computer, he's downstairs, whatever. So, but when my husband comes home, my living room's right over there, guys. So when my husband comes home, he watches TV. And guess what I'm trying to do here in my office? I'm friggin' trying to work, and I can't work because hockey's, you know, the hockey night in Canada is going on and it's noise. So I get my earphones and on they go. Noise canceling earphones are like a godsend, right? They're totally a godsend. They will block out a whole lot of stuff. And I just added that sign down the bottom, do not disturb, unless you have pizza, because that's awesome. And who doesn't love pizza, right? And if you're like me and you need water when you're working, and you all need to be hydrating, so you best have your water. And if you need Kleenex, and if you need your lip gloss because your lips get dry, and if you like to chew gum, like I do sometimes, have all this here. Like, don't give yourself any reason to have to get up unless you have to go to the loo. Like, have all your things here surrounding you, and it makes a huge, huge difference. And the fact of the matter is, for every interruption that you have, it takes that much longer to get like back in the zone for, you know, before you had that interruption. Just like, for example, you know, you've got your phone, my phone's sitting here. And if that was on during my work, I could be like, say I'm writing this blog post and I'm like right in the zone and I'm like totally narrowed down to like what I'm writing about. I'm like, the friggin' keys are on fire, and then ding, sliding it across, you're like, oh, who's texting me? You're reading the text, and then before it, you're like, crap, I'm supposed to be working. And then before you know it, 30 to 45 seconds have gone past. Then you have to, you're like, okay, what? Wait, where was I? And then you got to get your brain like back on that train of thinking. And it takes a lot of snippets out of that hour. If you have 1 hour, it's a lot of snippets that you're chunking out of that 1 hour with the friggin' notifications, all right? Makes a difference. I wish I had known that years ago. I wish I had thought about that years ago, but it makes a difference. Okay, so this next slide, super excited about. Take your work Mobile. And actually, Ryan and Carolyn, we just had a conversation a while ago about this. But it's so true. Take your work mobile. If you work from home predominantly, like I do, and your home office is your office, get out of the house for the day. Get to a local coffee shop, head to your library, head to the park if you don't live in Canada and it's not minus 45 and snowing, which it kind of is right now. So the park's out for me. So Starbucks is my jam. That's where I go. I go there one day a week. And why? Because you can, right? That's the joy of this business. We can work wherever, whenever. I was in a car traveling across Canada for 6 days 2 weeks ago. And I worked when I had cell service, which wasn't often because it was like I was cut off. But whatever, I can work wherever. I can work in a car. I can work wherever. But you're here in your home. And if you're like me, you're in your yoga pants, you're in your workout clothes because, hey, right? Why do I need to wear real clothes? Because ain't nobody going to see that, right? So you are in your workout clothes and you're working from home, and it gets kind of like it's a routine. But let's shake it up, right? Let's shake it up. Why? Because it's new. It's a new and stimulating environment. It's fresh vibes and fresh faces. And I love this. I love this. I have my little coffee buddies. It's a bunch of old guys in their 60s. They're my homies. They're like my pals. But I love it because I get to see them and I get to take some breaks and talk to them, which is cool. It gets the blood flowing and it gets your creativity sparked. All right. And if you're going to a coffee shop like I am, duh, there's coffee. Win-win, right? Hello. And like I said, I do this one day a week now. I started about a month ago, and it's wicked fun. It's wicked fun. And I actually, I have a bag that I pack up. It's like my mobile office bag, and that bag is heavy, but it has everything to make my work mobile in that bag. And like right from my laptop, I have all the devices, like all the Apple things, the laptop, the iPad, because, you know, you got to do all the editing and stuff like that, the iPhone. I've got water. I've got my gum. I've got Kleenex. I've got my snacks and my Shakeology. And I have my lunch because when I go for 2 to 4 hours and I work. And I get so much done. Why? Because of that list, that success list, right? That I made the night before. It's like, I know I'm going to this environment, which friggin' fires me up like you wouldn't believe. And I want to make the most of it while I'm in this awesome environment. So I go into it with that list. I'm sorry, I can't see your chat if you're asking questions. I see the thing dropping down, but I can't see it. So sorry, and I'll get to them after. I get so much done. It rejuvenates me, and it's something that I feel that I needed to add because, like I said, it's been 2.5 years and I just needed that fresh, infusion into my week. And bonus, you get to wear the big girl clothes, right? So it's like I do it, hair, makeup, like the whole gamut, the heels, like I bring out, pull out all the stops for this day out of the house. So I'm going to get out, I'm going to like look good. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of it. And it's really, really fun. So I encourage you to give that a try if your at-home stuff isn't working for you. All right, more water. Okay, take care of you. Fall in love with taking care of your mind, body, and spirit. So this is going to be a no-brainer for you guys, right? This is the vital behaviors at their best. Put yourself as a priority. Eat the right things, eat healthfully, get your sleep, and do your exercise. Work your brain, work the muscle between your ears, get that PD in, right? Get that in. And it's a package deal. And all of these are huge contributors. When you've got yourself together, kind of like mind, body, and soul, it's a huge contributor in how excited you are going to be when your feet hit the floor in the morning. It took me a long time to figure that out. But now, for the most part, when my feet hit the floor in the morning, I'm excited. Except for yesterday, I did out of the F-bomb. but most days it's really, really good. And I'm excited and I'm pumped up about it. All right. Last slide. Okay. So if what you're doing right now, like if your morning right now is not working for you, if it feels stagnant or it feels like you're in a rut of epic proportions, then try something new, right? Try something new. And I'll tell you, there's this quote and I use it all the time. And I know my team is so tired of me saying it, but what you allow will continue, right? If you don't make a step to change it, whatever you're doing right now that isn't working for you, it's not going to change. It's going to stay exactly the same. And that's like everything. That's life, right? That's all aspects of life. But if your morning routine for this business is not working for you right now, then do something different and something out of the box. And I'm going to talk about what I did in September. I did a 30-day challenge called the 30-Day Miracle Morning Challenge. And you can see the book down there in the corner. And I actually have it right here. Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. I kind of cut off his name in that picture there. I'm sorry, but Hal Elrod. And I read this book, and what it focuses on is making the most of your early hours and getting your head on right, getting your head screwed on right, creating calm and balance. I really needed the calm part because like my little hamster's like on NOS 24/7, and balance, your version of balance, whatever that means to you, and getting your blood flowing. And it is proven that when you have a positive start to your morning, the productivity and just your overall outlook of your day is like changed and increases, and you're happier and more energetic, and your perspective on life as a whole, as an entity, changes. And why do I love this? And why am I talking about it? And I know you guys have heard me going blah, 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 blah every second day on social media, but I can't help it. I love this. And it's made some changes. And I'll tell you why I love it, because it got me out of my comfort zone in several ways. And this whole Miracle Morning, if you haven't read this book, you need to like go to Amazon. You can't get it at Chapters, sorry. You need to go to Amazon today and like buy this today. If you are looking for change and you're looking for something that's going to impact you, order this book. I guarantee you it will help you. And so the Miracle Morning, there are 6 parts, and it's broken down into something called Lifesavers. And I'm gonna explain that. So SAVERS. So S for silence, AKA meditation. I had never meditated before, people. Guys, I've never done meditation. I always thought it was like, you know, very like hoo-ha, and I don't know, like just out there and not for me. And when I read this book, I'm like, hey, why not? Why not for me, right? So I started doing it, and I was semi-terrified, but I did it anyway, and I still do it. I'm still doing it like every single day. And I had a couple apps that people recommended to me. Hold on a second. I'm going to tell you what they are. If you're new to meditation and you want to check it out, even if you're not doing the Miracle Morning and you're looking to get just a different perspective and you want some change in your life, the app that I have is called Headspace. Now, there's a free part at the beginning, like there's a free series that kind of like, it's guided meditation. So there's a guy that talks you through it, and it's really, really cool. It's got a wicked awesome accent. I kind of like that. And you go through the segment that kind of like teaches you the basics of meditation and learning to like calm yourself and settle yourself. And I love that because you guys know me, I'm pretty high octane, right? So this was something I feel I really needed in my life, and it made a huge impact. And my sister Wanda's here. She knows that like when I was traveling across Canada, I put the earphones in and I did my meditation in the car. They're like, is she meditating? Is she sleeping? I don't know. But I closed my eyes and I did it, right? And it was awesome. And I'm still doing it every single morning. So Headspace is one. Insight Timer is another one. Calm is another one. And I'm going to talk about calm in a minute. So meditation, silence. A for affirmations. You know, up there in the center of the photo, there is one on clarity, and you can look at that picture and you can read something and you can know what you want for your life, what you can see for your life, what you know, all your I am statements. You can look at it and read it till the cows come home, but there's something that is different. There's something that changes it when you put it out there and you like verbalize it. You take those words and you say it out loud. I was kind of like, doing this was new to me as well. And it was weird to talk out loud to yourself in a room that's empty, right? But I did it. And it's really life-changing to say it not just one time, but to get up the next day and say that same thing. I am, I will, I am going to, you know, or whatever your affirmations are. And there are tons, like go to Pinterest. If you're looking for ideas on affirmations, go to Pinterest, type in affirmations. You're going to get like 400 gajillion ideas of, you know, what you can use for affirmations. And then you can customize it. You can make it your own. Visualization, V, that is, once again, you know, like seeing your life crystal clear, looking down the road and saying, okay, like I can see small, fine details of my life, like crystal clear without a doubt. And so what I do is, once again, that app called Calm. So that app has some really cool stuff in it, but it has all these sounds and things like that. So it has like water, like a river. It has rain on leaves. My favorite, hands down, is the crackling fireplace. Like, you know, the on Shaw, when you hear the crackling Christmas fireplace and like you can't stop watching it, and 3 hours later you're still watching the crackling fireplace. That's like this app. So I put on my noise canceling earphones and I listen to it for 5 minutes. I do my visualization. I close my eyes and I can see what I want for my life. It's really, really cool. It's really, really cool, guys. E is for exercise. That's a given. We're doing that anyways. That's part of our life as a coach here, right? Is exercise. R is for reading. PD, right? We're doing it anyway. That's part of this. Scribing, AKA journaling. I've always journaled or had a diary. When I was a kid, it was called a diary. My sister Wanda's on here. Family gatherings, they take Wendy's old diaries from when she was 12 and we sit around the fire and read the diaries. It's it's life-changing, really. But fast forward to today, you know, it's a really awesome and super creative outlet to focus on things that you're grateful for, especially. And, you know, if you're not doing it, you should honestly give it a try. You should give it a try. I'll show you the journal that I'm using. Oh, it's right here. It's called the 5-Minute Journal. And I think you can get it on Amazon. I haven't really looked into where you can get it, but Google it, you'll find it. You guys are proactive and you can do that. But I got this at Summit from a workshop that I attended, and it's called the 5-Minute Journal. And what's really cool is that it only takes 5 minutes, guys. So this is the layout of it, okay? Here it is. This is your morning part, and then it's got an evening part down here. So it gives you prompts. I am grateful for 1, 2, 3. You fill it in, right? Focus on what you're grateful for. What would make today great? 1, 2, 3. Fill those in. Daily affirmations. I am, and then you can fill it in. And it's really cool to, you know, if you want to add in your affirmations that you already did, that's great. But if you have just one I am statement that you want to write there, it's really kind of cool. Then down here on the bottom, like this was mine from this morning. So tonight, this is the night section. 3 amazing things that happened today. And you write those in there. And how could I have made today even better? So that's this journal in a nutshell. And it's really, really cool. You don't have to sit down and write a novel. When people think of journaling, they think, oh my God, I don't know what to write. I'm going to write for forever. And I'm going to have like writer's block and nothing's going to come. This helps you very easily get a grasp on just the whole gratefulness aspect of life. And I just love this. I love this. And, you know, just in closing, for September, like I said, I did this challenge. It was 30 days. I only missed part of one day. I got the exercise in. The rest of the stuff I didn't get to because I was traveling. I left early in the morning. I did not get home till late at night, and I didn't get it done, but I got 29 out of 30 days done. And it changed me in ways that I can't even tell you, along with the ones that I did already tell you, but it makes me feel like I am now calmer. Like I can definitely think more clearly, and I'm more patient because, you know, I need to have a little bit of that in my life. Like I have a better vision for my life, and it makes me feel energized and excited. Even though I just said that I feel calmer, I still feel energized and excited. You know, you can feel those together. I definitely feel more focused, and like I said, just so much more that I could probably talk about this for days, but I just encourage you all to go read the book, order the book, and I think it will change you in a big way. So, you know, like I said when I started, I'm not saying that all of these things are going to work for you or you need to be doing all of these things, but if even one thing resonates with you guys, then take that and use it and be open to change. If your current morning situation is not working for you, then do something to change it. Do something to fire yourself up, right? Try new things and expand your mind and make your mornings count, because I'll tell you, I have never been so pumped up about things as I have since I started this challenge. It was something that was so outside of my comfort zone. And, you know, that yoga, that was another thing I forgot to talk about. I focused on yoga, and I had never really done it before other than what we do in the Beachbody workouts. You know, there's a little bit of yoga I dabbled with here and there, but I was slightly terrified to do it, but I did it. And I did not miss one day of yoga for 30 days, not one day. And I did the 3-week yoga retreat, and I started before September 1st, but, and then after I was done the 3 weeks, I continued on, and I'm still using that now because I absolutely love it, because it's super fast and it's under 30 minutes. And I love it. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for showing up today. And I'm going to see if I can stop at the share here. My mouse doesn't want to work. All right. So yeah. Does anyone have any questions at all? You can unmute yourself and you can throw them at me, or you can feel free to message me. I think I'm friends with everybody here. You can feel free to message me or friend request me if we're not friends, but I hope I didn't bore you to tears. Okay, just wait. I'm going to go look at the chat now. Don't be a winger. Oh my God, save the frogs. I know I need to be different. You're welcome, Carolyn. You're welcome. Okay. I'm going to unmute everybody just for a minute. Okay, guys. So, it says my internet connection is unstable. So I hope this helped. I don't know, like I said, if there were any aspects there that, you know, you feel like you could use, but I just know what it's done for me. And I mean, there are some girls here, I see Sherry on, and I know that she's doing the Miracle Morning as well. So she can attest to the awesomeness. So I hope this helped.
Hey, Wendy, sorry I lost you there. My computer died, and then I had to bring it up on my phone, and I don't even know I don't know how to do this whole thing on the phone, really, but
that's okay.
Anyway, so I kind of lost you at the beginning of the Miracle Morning part, although I've been doing the Miracle Mornings with you. Although I have to say that, unlike you, I have not been consistent. I have a problem with consistency. I'm so ADD, it's pathetic. I can't seem to stick to anything for like any length of time. So I'm working on that, and I'm trying to, I stuck with your, I appreciate that you kept the group open and that you're going on with it. So yeah. That's another thing that I don't know if you mentioned that in the period when I lost you, that the people that are in this group listening to this now can probably, if they wanted to, join the group that you have open?
I didn't, so thank you.
Okay.
There was just so much information. So when I did this challenge, I actually did a Facebook Live inviting my Facebook friends to join me. It was just something I was doing personally for me. And I had 70 women that joined me to do the Miracle Morning for the month of September. It was incredible. So, I mean, we just fed off each other. We were fired up, and the group, I still kept open. So if you want to join the group, just ask me and I can add you to it. But it's a really fantastic atmosphere. I did, just like, you know, like we do our challenge groups, we do our daily check-ins. Every day I did daily check-ins, you know, during the duration. And now I'm not doing like, you know, little pretty pictures and stuff like that, but I'm still doing, like, I'm posting stuff that's pertinent and talking about different things that are all kind of like all inclusive in this Miracle Morning. And the group is open and ongoing, and it was very impactful. It was very impactful. And I think it was a huge contributor in keeping me online because, or in line, because you guys know, just like our challenge groups that we host, right? If you are committed to a whole group of people, and you're sure as hell showing up, right?
When someone else asked me about it, when I was describing it to them, like how it's going to be now, I said also it's probably kind of like a book club in that we're all kind of reading the same book. So if anybody wanted to talk about things they're reading in that book, then that would be the place to do it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hi,
Thanks for that,
Wendy.
Kim.
I wanted to ask about the 5-minute journal.
Yeah.
Is that available through a bookstore? You said you received yours at Summit. So is that something that's specifically for Beachbody?
No.
Okay.
You can buy it online. I think, like, I haven't done the research, but I'm pretty sure you can buy it. I actually did.
Yeah, I love the I am.
Yeah, it's a really cool, like, you don't need to like put too much thought, like you don't need to overthink it, right? You just look at it, it asks you questions, you write the answers. Like you don't have to sit and write a novel. And I really like that because it's over and done with, and there's no excuses for not writing down those things that you're grateful for, right? And like what you focus on expands, right? When you focus on what you're grateful for, then that transcends into all aspects of your life. So I really love that. So yeah, check out Google. I don't know, maybe if you're in the US, I'm not sure if you are, but like I said, maybe Barnes and Noble or one of your US book places, maybe Amazon US might carry it. I don't know.
I looked it up at one point and I think it is available. It's like, I think it's like $25 or something like that.
Is
it's pricey, but it's like, it's worth it. I did see it at some point, but I can't remember where I saw it. But if you just Google the title, you will find it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Another really cool one, and just hang on, I'm gonna go get it. I know that I've kept you long enough, but I want to show you this, and it's super cheap, and it was $15, so just hang on.
The other thing is, I know this is kind of unkosher, but we could probably like do a little copy of what the page is, and if you wanted to sort of make your own journal, you could, because all the pages are identical. I know it's not the same when it's not in a little bound book, but you could even get your own little bound book journal and write it. It's really easy. It's very small. Like, you know, like everything that Wendy said is all that's on the page, every single page, every day. That's all there is. So you could really make your own. It would be very easy to do.
Absolutely.
But, you know, and you can get those little bound journal books like at Chapters, or, well, I don't know what Chapters would be called in the States. Maybe Barnes and Noble. Is that what Chapters is?
I don't
Wendy?
know.
In the
I don't
States?
know.
But those fancy bookstores, you know, or just any little stationery store, or even like we call it Dollarama, and you guys have dollar stores that have those little, like, it would be easy to make them. If
Yeah, it doesn't have to be pricey. It doesn't have to be pricey. This journal is really cool. It was like, I think $15 on the Chapters. It's called the 52 Lists Project. And it's pretty because it's got a nice, like, it's got gold on it. That sucked me in. but it gives you prompts. So it's a year of weekly journaling inspirations. And so what it does is it gives you a list. It's got 52 lists. So for 1 week, so list one, list your goals and dreams for this year. So you spend 1 week every day writing down goals, right? What your goals are. And the next week, it's list your favorite characters from books, movies, etc. And then you've got a couple pages to write your things, right? And then you can spend a whole week on that one topic. Then the next week you move on. So it covers off everything. And a lot of the things are really seasonal. So this is kind of a really cool option if you're looking for something that's a little bit more creative, and it's going to get your brain off into a whole bunch of different topics because it covers off a whole lot. So it doesn't have to be rocket science. Like Kim said, it can be a dollar store journal and just writing down a few thoughts, even starting with things that you're grateful for will make a huge difference and an impact. All right. So I guess that if there are no more questions, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for joining in on the call. And like I said, I am sad that this is over with because it was really fun to host this series. And thanks, Julia, for being part of it. Ryan and Carolyn, I think, are gone. I don't see them now. But thanks to Ryan and Carolyn as well, because it was really fun to come together and team up to do this. So thank you. So yeah, no questions for anyone? Oh wait, can I get a picture before we go? Everyone smiling? All right, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thanks, Wendy.
Okay, thank you, bye-bye.
Bye.